around in a circle. Bruce will draw a line to get the top off so you can carve it, and so then you can put the candle in later. Sometimes Bruce actually draws part of the face on just so with a marking pen, just so he can get his relationships, you know, basically where the eyes want to be, where the nose, and where the mouth wants to be. Okay.
On an angle in so that the lid has a taper to it. I just take the knife and I work it in. It's hard to make corners, so it's best to take it and make a straight, kind of a straight shot.
And do it in little sections till you get them. You're using a small knife, so.
Yeah, the big ones are harder to push in. So I use a small knife and I just work it around like this. Being careful not to cut myself. The idea is you want a tapered top.
So it angles in.
Like this.
The cut angles in.
This is the top as it comes out, and I just cut off any excess of the inside. That's the stuff I'm going to be scraping out.
These get pretty smelly if you leave any of that stuff in there. Okay, I'm going to get it shot down in so you can see. This is the seeds and the inside. You're going to scoop all of that out of there. Wait a minute. Okay.
I'm just scraping against the walls and kind of peeling the stuff loose as I go along.
It kind of pulls and goes into a ball. And you have to get messy. You got to get your hands in there and pull it out. But it's not too bad. See how he's making a...
This is the stuff coming out.
Did I make you dizzy? I moved too fast. These are the candles I'm going to use. I usually use ones that are, you know, already burned down a little bit. You don't want it the full length of the candle. So about this tall. It's about 3 inches is good. And I've got 2 in case one burns all the way down. We can replace it. Oh, it flashes. Okay, you can see we're almost got it all out now. So there's quite a bit of stuff. You'll need something to put it in for trash. Okay, Rena, this is the bottom of the pumpkin. See that white spot? That's the bottom. What we're going to do is make a little indentation in the bottom. We'll scoop a little place to just scoop it out to put the candle in. Can't see much. See, he's just making a little round scoop to have something to hold the candle in. So you can see there's quite a bit of stuff in my trash can. Now he's cleaning up the back side of the lid where the stem of the pumpkin is. Second, wait, don't move it. Okay, now you can see, Bruce, open the lid. The lid just fits right back down in, and that's why you make that on an angle, tipped in, this kind of an angle, so that it'll fit back down.
It's hard.
Wait, okay.
It's hard to make sharp turns, and I find it easier to, if I'm going to make, for instance, a nose, I'll go into the part of the pumpkin I'm going to waste and make a rough cut first and get the bulk of the pumpkin out of the way.
So he's doing this in a triangle, which is most often what the noses are. A triangle with the point at the top toward the eye.
I've got the rough part of the pumpkin out of the way, and then I will refine it to what I want it to look like. I want it to have a flare on it, and I can cut a little bit at a time and get a flare.
A flare means?
A little nostril on the side of it. and then another nostril on the other side. But I can do that with just chewing into my hole. I also tend to make it bigger on the inside than it is out here. That way there's more light from the candle coming out towards you. And here's his nose. And if I want a round top on it, I just have to do it very gently, like that.
It looks like a real nose.
And we will,
Started. Okay.
again, on the mouth, I tend to figure out what I want him to look like. If he's going to be a happy pumpkin, I start up here and make a cut like this. Even if I'm going to put teeth in it, I still make the preliminary cut and get a little of the material out of the way so that I can finish. For instance, if I start here, usually I don't put teeth right at the beginning, and then I'll come along and take a little wedge out, and that frees up the knife so that I can continue to cut.
Like that.
That gives me enough room to start to cut, and then I can cut a tooth. Like if I want a tooth to look like this,
Square in.
there's a bottom tooth.
Her hands in the way. She can't see that there's an opening on the left side too.
Okay, now I'm going to make a top tooth closing over that one.
That's pretty good.
Okay, I rough it out like that, and then if I want to make the teeth smaller or shaped differently, I can carve on them gently to make the teeth the way I want to.
Okay.
The eyes, you have to decide what you want them to look like, but sometimes I do them like kind of not round, but more oval shaped.
On an angle oftentimes.
They're usually higher on the ear side and lower down here to make them look a little evil. And if you want to put an eyeball in,
No.
you stop here, cut back
Like a tooth.
like a tooth, and then you can leave a little bit of like an eyeball. You can make like an eyeball in the eye. Again, that's roughed out and you'll carve it down to make it look exactly like you like to. The eyebrows are the most fun, and there I make kind of a big swoop on them. So I would start here and just make your preliminary cut the way you want it to go.
And then go up at the end, like you've raised your eyebrows up. Angry.
And then you can come back and just cut above that line on the same kind of a swoop.
And make a slit.
And you'll want to taper that downward. Remember, the candle is going to be below you. So to get, that's roughed out, and you'll make it bigger because it's a little too small, but it's tapered down toward the candle, which is going to be in the middle of your pumpkin. And the last part of it is an ear, and that's you do whatever you want to. No one else ever does ears. But if an ear was up here, I would just start making a slit like an eyebrow, and then I go around Again, a narrow knife works better than a fat knife in this. And I go ahead and make like a question mark at the top, and then I'm going to give him a big lump at the bottom. Go out and give him another lump. And that's an ear.
And she can't see it really.
And then what I do is I follow the line back a little wider or a little shorter so that I end up getting a carved out part. I can't see. Okay?
Have to wait. Okay, so that's sort of a roughed out ear. And what's nice about doing an ear is that light will come out the side of the pumpkin also, as well as the face, and it really lights up pretty. And then this is just very roughed out, but you can get an idea of what you can do. And you don't have to be so fancy. You can just do triangles and slits, but try to put eyebrows and ears on, because it will make a difference. Okay, now we've stuck our candle in that little hole we made in the bottom. Now you don't want the hole to go all the way through. It's just as a little dent, so that you have something. Right, but anyway, so the candle's going to sit in there like that, and then you have to tip your pumpkin to light it. We haven't finished carving, but we wanted to show you how the candle goes in. And then you can get an idea, turn that light off, of how your pumpkin is going to shine through. See how the eyebrows show up and the eye, and we'll go over here to the ear. Look at that. Is that cool? See? Happy Halloween.
Happy pumpkin.